his shirt and letting it rest against his chest, where his heart beat in triple time. How is she? Glancing at the badge, one of the paramedics said, "She has a head injury. We've got to get her to the hospital to determine any additional injuries." She could have been killed. Infinite anger at whoever did this to her car roared through him. He searched the crowd in the walking path and those in their cars watching, wondering if the perpetrator was among those gawking. "When you reach the hospital, notify security that she needs protection until the police arrive," Nelson told the paramedic. "Is there something we should be aware of?" the paramedic asked. This was no accident. Though the proof he had was his gut instinct. The paramedic's eyes widened, and he gave a sharp nod. "Roger that." They loaded Mia into the back bay of the ambulance. Diesel whined, clearly wanting to go with Mia. Nelson fought back the urge to climb into the back of the emergency vehicle, too. "We will head over to the hospital soon," Nelson promised Diesel. Some people consider talking to dogs as if they understood was a silly practice, but Nelson was confident Diesel understood. Watching the ambulance make a U-turn, then roll away back the way they'd come, Nelson sent up another prayer of gratitude that Mia still lived, and prayed the injuries were minor. Then he turned his focus on the officers who were slowly letting the traffic go by, one day at a time. "What happened here?" Glancing at Nelson's badge, the closest officer said, "Witnesses said the red car slowed, but the blue car didn't. The driver lost control of her vehicle and smashed into the guardrail." "Where's the chief?" Nelson asked. "He doesn't come out for traffic accidents," the man said as he waved a silver pickup past the crash site. Frustration bubbled within Nelson's chest. "When will the car be towed?" "As soon as Harry's towing can get here," the officer replied. "Tell Harry's towing not to touch the evidence," Nelson said. "Excuse me? You heard me," Nelson stated. "This is an FBI case." "Oh, wow. Okay." The officer looked impressed, which Nelson hoped meant the guy would do as he'd been asked. Nelson figured the small town of Dillon rarely had dealings with the FBI. Nelson and Diesel hurried back to his SUV. They made a three-point turn and headed back toward Dillon's town center. Having already dealt with the police chief, Nelson knew the only way he'd get Mia the protection she needed was by seeing the chief in person. He arrived at the police station, leaving his SUV in a no-parking zone near the front door. He didn't plan to be here long. He leashed Diesel up and then hurried inside, straight for the chief's office. "Hey," his receptionist said. "He's on the phone. You can't just go in there." Ignoring her protests, Nelson pushed the door open and stepped into the office. The chief sat back in his chair, the phone cradled between his ear and shoulder, while his hands wrestled a sandwich out of a wrapper. His eyebrows shut up. He sat forward, putting the sandwich down. "I'll call you back." He replaced the receiver. "Officer Rivers, I didn't expect to see you back so soon." "Mia Turner just wrecked her car," Nelson told him. "It was not an accident. Her brake line had been tampered with, and she'd been leaking brake fluid." Chief steepled his fingers and placed his elbows on the desk. "What makes you think it wasn't just normal wear and tear?" "After the shooting last night, it's an educated guess." Nelson couldn't keep the rage from vibrating in his tone. Was the man totally oblivious, incompetent, or did he really have such negative opinions of Mia that he just didn't care? "I agree that considering someone shot at her, her brakes going out could be construed as suspicious," she admitted, though skepticism laced his words. "Beyond suspicious. She's on her way to the hospital. You need to put a guard on her," Nelson insisted. "Now see here."